Dr. Natalie Cordova, creator of Posture Confidence. How bad is your posture? Let's go over the basics. When you look at your spine from a view from the front, you want to look at three main areas. You want to look at the base of your head and see if that's crooked. You can look at the bottom of your earlobes, and that will indicate whether you're off from right to left. You look at the top of your shoulders. You want to look at those to see if they're off right to left, and that will tell you. And then the last one is your hips. You want to look at the top of the crest and to compare the right to left. Sometimes your belt line will give it away too, to see if you're off in that manner. What happens is when you're shifted over and you're carrying your weight differently, you're going to start wearing out, and that's going to give you bad posture. So if you're constantly shifting your weight from side to side, or you've got your purse on your side, or your backpack, also your computer bag, that's going to cause you to have those lateral shifts. And when you're done wearing your purse, your shoulder should not still be up, elevated on that left side, so that you will start to wear out your spine improperly. Now, so we all understand the front view, that's a very easy one. It's the side view that I get a lot of questions about. So how do you assess your posture from the side? This you may want to have someone help you out with and give you that bird's eye view and explain to you where you're having your issues. But the secret to having good posture comes from that pelvis. What you want to have is a pelvis that is slightly tucked, where your hamstrings and your glutes are firm and tight. You want to pull in your ab muscles so that you have a good solid foundation for that curve there. What is going to throw you off is if you have a hyperlordosis and you're really protruding your rear end, and then you have a big curve in that low back. That's really going to alter your weight distribution, and it's going to wear out your discs and your joints and your spine. When you look at your shoulders, if the base of your pelvis is good and that's a good foundation for your body, then you can address the shoulder issues. The problem is, again, that secret is if you do not have your pelvis solid and in the right spot, you cannot ever have good posture at the shoulder level. And that is where most of my viewers want to know how to correct their problems, because it's all up in here that they have bad posture. So if you have a good foundation with that hips, then let's assess, where are you with this bad posture? You're looking at your shoulders, and if you're doing this in the mirror, you want to see, is this arm elevated and is it pointing that way? That's bad. You do not want that. You want to have your shoulder up, pointing straight up and down. You want that shoulder right over your hip. And if you've got your pelvis straight and solid here, then you can have your rib cage right up here. Then your shoulder will go pointing up and then also back and down. You want to think of your shoulder blades. You've got two of them that are right back here. You take those shoulder blades and you don't want them up and over your spine or your rib cage. You want them relaxed, back and down, so that they can hold your arms exactly where they should be. And then that gives you the next and the last part of your good posture. Because when you're looking at your neck, you want to have a curve in your neck called your cervical lordosis. You want to have this curve so that the ear is over the shoulder and there's a backward C that goes this way. Now I have a model, my guy Sam right here. And he is good to see that you can look at your hips, again from that front view. You want to look both at your right hip and your left hip and make sure that that's level. You look at your shoulders, make sure that's level. And then the base of your head, he's not straight, he's off. His right ear is higher than the left ear, and so he's not level there. When you go to look at the side, this is a beautiful part, because you can see that you have three curves that complete a beautiful and straight posture. You want to have your hips not too far forward, not too far back, because having your pelvis tucked under too much will cause problems as well. So you want to have them firm, tight, and a slight curve, slight lordosis right here. And then as the rib cage kind of hides the middle part, you have a slight curve here instead of a very hunched over curve. And then you want to have it forward right in here. He's a little bit too stiff and too straight, but that's because there's a metal rod in his spine. So that's how you assess your posture. One of the leading things people come to my office for is that they've been crooked for too long, and that sets up rigidity. And so they're stiff and then they get hurt. And it can be something as simple as going to pick something up and then tearing those stiff muscles, stiff ligaments that have been holding them together for hours and hours on end being out on a computer. So that's where bad posture can become very troublesome, and you want to correct that. So what we have here is two x-rays. We have a low back x-ray of the front view. So I'm looking at the back. This is your right side and this is your left side. But you can see, just like my skeleton, is you've got the bones and you want to have each bone nicely stacked on top of each other. What happens when you start wearing out and you're shifting, you tend to elevate a pelvis on one side, and then things will have to compensate. Over time, the space between the bones, this is called your disc, will start to wear out. We have this area over here shorter on his right side and higher on the left side. And what ends up happening is the ligaments that are attached to the top of one vertebra going to the next one will start to fuse. And so your body will lay down calcium and start to harden and reduce the mobility in that area. And so many times people will have stiffness that's very subtle over the years and then end up having huge bone spurs. You can see there's a couple bone spurs over here, and over here. And so that's not a quick fix. And so if you are at least 30 years or older, you're going to recognize that you have some stiffness that's starting up, and you want to start wrapping that up and start demanding good motion and having good posture. So when you're in the gym and you're demanding good motion, you want to do it in a good posture way. So now that you know how to check your posture, I also have a form for you that you can download and click. So if you go to this button right down here on the screen, you can click that, you can download it, you can print it out, and you can take the 10-day challenge. It's up to you. You can do it.